Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coach Craig Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video, Core Pick live stream for today, February 28th. As always, we'll be doing a recap of yesterday's picks, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's main slate. It is a 10-game main slate overall. Then going over to DraftKings and FanDuel and going over my core picks for today. But if you're joining in, you're watching live, welcome in. If you're watching on replay, I do appreciate you checking it out as well. If anybody does have any questions throughout the stream or throughout the video, feel free to leave them in the chat if you're listening live or in the comments if you're watching on replay. Also, feel free to note whether your questions are more FanDuel or DraftKings specific so I can best help you as quickly as possible. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. So obviously it was a smaller slate yesterday, a 4-game main slate overall. The Pistons kind of ended up being the major value spot. Hopefully you guys didn't get to too much Isaiah Livers, as he did roll his ankle yesterday and got hurt. And hopefully you didn't get to too much LaMelo Ball, because apparently he fractured his ankle, which was my biggest problem yesterday on yesterday's slate overall. But on the DraftKings side, we have Marcus Smart at $5,500. Was looking for 28 points out of him, got to 33.5, so he was a hit. At shooting guard, went with Alec Burks at $3,500, looking for 17, 18 out of him, got to 26.5, so he was a hit as well. Then at small forward, we had Hamidou Diallo, who did not end up being in the starting lineup. We saw Rodney Magruder get the start. Wasn't really too concerned about that. Diallo was at $3,600, looking for 18 points out. He doubled that with 35.25. And then kind of the lone miss on the DraftKings side yesterday was Jason Tatum, $10,200, looking for 51 points out. Only got to 36.75. 6 for 18 shooting for him, so not the best shooting day. It wasn't like the worst day all around besides the scoring, but just not the greatest day for him overall. He was one of the most popular options on yesterday's slate, obviously being a small slate, no Jaylen Brown, and a reduced price tag at that as well. Then last but not least, at that center position, went with James Wiseman at $3,700. Was looking for 18, 19 points down, got the 32.25, so he was a hit. So 4 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. Pretty solid day overall there besides Jason Tatum. Hopefully you guys didn't get to too much LaMelo Ball alongside this core. That was kind of my biggest problem yesterday. And then on the FanDuel side, we had LaMelo Ball at $10,300, looking for 51, 52 points out, got to 27.7. He was a miss. He ultimately got hurt in this game, fractured his ankle, and only played 21 minutes. Obviously, if he gets the minutes, he's probably playing 36 plus. So would have probably paid off at that price tag at what we had seen, the pace that he was going for. Just kind of unfortunate overall. And hopefully he has a healthy recovery, because he's probably not going to play for the rest of the year now. You know, the fractured ankles usually take about 6 weeks for bones to heal, and then add on a couple extra weeks there for conditioning and everything else like that. So probably done for the season at this point in time, unfortunately. Then at shooting guard, we had Alec Burks at $5,000, looking for 25.7, get 25.8 on the FanDuel side, so he is a hit as well. At small forward, we had Hamidou Diallo at $5,100, looking for 25, 26 points out, got a 37.6 on FanDuel, so he is a hit as well. And then once again, we had Jason Tatum as our miss, $11,000. We were looking for 55 points out, got to 34.9. And then at center, we had James Wiseman once again, $4,800, looking for 24 points out, got to 31.4, so he was a hit as well. So 3 out of 5 on the FanDuel side. Not quite as nice over there, since we did have LaMelo Ball, but if he had some other decent plays, he still had a chance of cashing yesterday overall. But with that being said, excuse me. So I do apologize for that. I got a little bit of sniffles and some sneezing and stuff going on right before the stream, but that was kind of the core picks for yesterday. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to move over to the injuries and play for today. So once again, it's a 10-game main slate. And interestingly enough, it does not start till 7:30 Eastern time. So we have 4 games that tip off right away. And I believe 2 more games are right at 8 o'clock as well. So for the first game, we have the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. The Wizards are without can't talk right now. The Wizards are without Monte Morris, so you could get some value in DeLon right here if you have a strong feeling about like Kendrick Nunn or Jordan Goodwin behind him. You could play one of those 2 players, but not really something I'm chasing myself. We don't think we have to do that on a 10-game main slate overall. And then Kristaps Porzingis listed as doubtful, so probably see Nani Avdia enter the starting lineup, so he could be an interesting play on both sides. Obviously, a little bit of a bump up for Bradley Beal, for Kyle Kuzma, and probably Daniel Gafford as well. On the Atlanta Hawks side, they are all the way healthy, but they do get John Collins back. For the Milwaukee Bucks, we have Wesley Matthews out. Giannis is listed as probable to play. We'll see if that changes throughout the day. Obviously, he is dealing with a quad injury that caused him to miss or exit the last game or 2 games ago a little bit early. I believe that was Friday, so they might have played 1 game since then. For the Brooklyn Nets side, Ben Simmons and Edmund Sumner are both out tonight. So without Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton's going to look a lot more appealing tonight overall. And then for the Chicago Bulls, Goran Dragic and Javonte Green both listed as out tonight. So no, not too many changes here. Obviously, they did bring Patrick Beverly in. We saw a different starting lineup out of this Bulls team, 2 games ago. It seems like they're going to follow suit once again. For the Raptors, side, it looks like they're all the way healthy at this point in time. And then we're going to move down to the Lakers. Russell listed as doubtful. And then Anthony Davis listed as probably. So, D'Angelo Russell, no LeBron James. Could be a lot of value on this Lakers team tonight. You can take some shots on Troy Brown. You could take some shots on Rui Hachimura. You can take some shots on Jared Vanderbilt. Malik Beasley played a lot of minutes last time out if you really want to go there. Dennis Schroeder's going to look pretty good on both sides as well. Then for the Memphis Grizzlies, we got Steven Adams listed as out, so no real changes there. Seeing Zeke Naji listed out. Aaron's listed as able to play return last time out. Then Jamal Murray is listable with that kind of nagging knee injury that he's been, or the knee injury management from the surgery. So we'll see if he plays or not tonight. Can't take too much at this point in time. For the De'Aaron Fox deal with wrist soreness, we'll see if he plays tonight or not. He is questionable at this point in time. If he's unable to go, Davion Mitchell probably steps in his place. You could go there if you really want to, but he hasn't been too great this year for DFS purposes, but he is a cheap option. Kevin Huerter will get a bump up. Malik Monk will get a bump up, and Domantas Sabonis will get a bump up as well. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, they were without Shai Gilgeous once again, as well as Alexei Povashevsky. So pretty much what we've seen in recent games. Hopefully we get that good Josh Giddey game once again, because we haven't seen it in the last 2 games. So hopefully it's there tonight. Isaiah Joe did get the start last time around. We'll see if that. Moving down to the Pacers, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. And then for the Dallas Mavericks, Davis Bertans is out, and Maxi Kleber is listed as questionable. He was dealing with a pretty nasty hamstring injury. He's been out for quite some time, since December, I believe. So, almost a little over 2 months at this point in time. We'll see if he's able to go tonight or not, but not anybody that we do want to play from a DFS perspective at this point in time. For the Spurs, they're without Khem Birch, Romeo Langford, Isaiah Roby, and Devin Vassell. Vassell is getting closer to coming back, so that will be something to keep an eye on for in the coming days, in the coming weeks. And then Trey Jones listed as questionable. He's missed 8 of the last 9 games, so we'll see if he's good to go tonight or not. For the Utah Jazz, they're without Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton, so they're starting backcourt at this point in time. We did see Chris Dunn kind of step in and play a major role for them, honestly, the last couple of games, even though, he's just the guy they recently signed to the team. Taylor Horton-Tucker's been playing pretty well as well. And then even Ochai Agbaji kind of filling in, playing a decent role for a paydown option in DFS. For the Portland Trailblazers, they are without Justice Winslow, Anthony Simons, Joseph Nurkic, Baji, and Ryan Archer-Durakino as well. So quite a few guys missing there, but not too many changes in terms of their rotation perspective or anything else like that. Most of these guys have been out for quite some time, or at least the ones that do matter. For the Golden State Warriors side, they're without Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton, Andre Iguodala, Steph Curry, and then we have Draymond Green listed as probable to play tonight. We'll see if that changes for some reason or another. And then we move to the Timberwolves and the Clippers at this point in time. We have Karl Anthony Towns listed as out. We have Zubac's on the other side. I got ahead of myself there. Rudy Gobert and Jalen Noel both listed as questionable to play. Obviously, if Rudy Gobert is unable to go for whatever